Blues Creek Guitars. We're going to put together a little video here so that you can see how the bending machine actually works. I have two machines set up. One's going to be set up, we're going to be doing a cutaway, and then we're going to be doing the standard so you can see the full capability of this machine. I want to explain the controls to you. This is a timer controller that you'll get with the machine. This is called the VSI switch. It's not a rheostat, but it is a VSI switch, which actually will give short bursts of full power. It doesn't lower the energy, it just sends it in short little bursts. And this is a timer. This timer is set for 15 minutes so that you cannot exceed more than that during your process. I will say that most of the time, most beginners have a problem that they probably wait a little bit too long to bend the wood. We're going to actually keep track of the time, and you will see that I'm done bending within 4 to 5 minutes, and you should do likewise. Now the first side we're going to bend is a piece of East Indian rosewood. Now if you notice, there's a little hump here. This is going to be down in our swale for the cutaway, and I have my side pre-shaped so that when we go to do the geometry of the sides later, we don't have a lot of work to do. And this is designed so that when we actually bend the guitar, this will fit into a 20-foot radius. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to wet my wood, and I'm also going to turn the machine on so I can preheat it. This controller is a little different than the one that I just showed you, but trust me, it works just fine. I do not oversaturate my wood. You don't need to soak it. It's not necessary. We just want to dampen it. The water is more of an anti-scorch device than anything. I have the top side, which is the straight side, the curved side. If we're building a right-handed guitar, think about it. Here's your top, your lower bout, here's where you're going to be playing. So we need to turn it so the straight side will be to our left from the back of the machine. If you want to build a left-hand guitar, you will put it the other way. Now the temperature will get warm pretty rapidly. I know that the center of this slot will mark my waist, and we want to be approximately 12 inches from here to the neck block. You can mark your pattern or you can measure it. So I just basically put this at 12 inches, slide that right into there, and I'm running the waist call down just to allow me some friendly friction. I can now align things where I need to be. I want to be parallel to my pattern. I want to be supported by my slats. I can take this test bend and you can see I'm going to cover my pattern, so I am safe to go. I take a thermometer and I will put that underneath the blanket. And I'm going to have slat, wood, slat, blanket. I take my hold down, attach the springs. This is a capillary controller, so I have to put that in there to control my temperature. My temperature is well over 250 degrees. I do want to mention that the time is 11:13. Notice the springs are holding the hold down against the pattern. Normally I will do the lower bout, the upper bout, and then the waist. With a cutaway, I do half waist. I leave this about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch off of the pattern. And now I want to bend the cutaway. Here is where it can get tricky because I'm doing two bends at once. I'm checking to see that I have moisture in my wood, and I don't. I will add a little more water, and you can hear it sizzle. At this point, I'm going to do two bends at once. I bring the ram down, and as it starts to pick up, I can just start cranking. And I'm doing two bends at once. I'm lifting up with my left hand and pretty much letting my ram catch the pattern. As it catches the pattern, I will be able to let go with my left hand. This does get hot. You may need to wear a glove the first couple of times to learn where you can put your hands. I am just about on the pattern now, and now I can just turn the crank. As I turn the crank, this will bottom out down here. You can see this picking it up. I am against the pattern. I can bring the waist the rest of the way down. I'm just checking to see that everything appears bottomed out, and it does. My temperature is at this point 400 degrees. I can turn that off. It is now 11:16, so it took me a total of about 4.5 minutes. I will let this cycle down and cool, and we'll take it out of the machine. You'll see me back in a half an hour. Okay, we came back. We're now cooled down, and in order to take a cutaway out of the bending machine, there is a technique to do this to reduce your risk of cracking. A lot of cracks on the cutaway actually will happen trying to take these out of the machine. So you just don't want to go willy-nilly tearing at it. First thing I will do, I'll take the back of the springs off. I will release tension here. Now I'm going to loosen this up, but I'm not taking it out all the way because you'll see why. I'm going to back this off, maybe about 2 or 3 turns. You can see that I'm free here now. Now, I'll take this waist caul out altogether. Now this keeps the stress pretty consistent so I don't have any sudden releases. And in order to take it out, I have this tightened out. There's a little wing nut. I can actually push in on here, pull my pin, keep a little tension there, and now I can just walk this right out. And this affords bringing this apart without overly stressing any one area. And as you can see, we have the cutaway side. There's no cracks. And that's ready to become a guitar. We have it bent the right way. That would be my back, that would be my top. So if I'm a right-hander, that is the way we want to do it. You can also note that if you want to bend your binding, you can bend binding at the same time that you bend your sides if you just want wood binding. It's not a complicated process, just do it the way that I did it right here. Now, as I told you before, we have this little rise here that when we go to do the geometry of the shape for the dish, you'll actually be able to see slightly. If I can hold this flat right here, you'd actually be able to see the radiusing that is actually designed into that bend. And one way I can help you to see that a little bit better